Okay. Do
That's
people
it.
in your country usually learn or speak English?
Um, English is one of the most widely spread languages in Egypt, even though it's not very well spoken. However, it's one of the most important languages here, and most of the people here speak. Some people you find them speak English more than Arabic. Even Arabic is the mother language here.
Okay. Do you personally like English as a language?
Yes, I like English, but it's not my favorite. Like I find other languages more I really like French and I like my language Arabic, but I really like English it's the most widely used language, so it's a great way of communication. And as you see, it's a requirement to take an English test in order to apply for college out there.
Okay. If you were given the opportunity to learn one language other than English, which language would you pick?
I would pick French.
Okay. As you've already said, you like French. So let's move on and talk about politeness or being nice to people. What is politeness in your opinion?
Politeness is it's something that parents teach their children from a very young age in order for the children to become like people grown-ups who respect their adults and who are they know how to treat the poor and they don't separate between a poor and the rich. They treat all people equally. um, they treat people based on how they were taught and they, based on their lessons, not based on other people. I
Okay.
wouldn't care, like for example, if I'm polite, I wouldn't care if someone is bad or wrong. I'm going to treat him well because I was taught to be a good person.
Why is it important to be polite to people?
It is important to be polite to people because without being polite, like communication between people will be very bad. That even worse could happen because of a single word said between that someone said without being aware of what he's really saying.
Okay. Do you think there is any standard of politeness that should be universal, or does it all vary from culture to culture?
Um, No, it differs from culture to other. For example, there are certain words when said here in the Egyptian culture, like people would glare at you, and how are you saying that? But if you said the same word, for example, in the US, it would be normal. So, like, I think it differs from a country to another based on their cultures and how they were taught and their ancestors and all of that.
Okay. Now, I'd like to discuss a few things about social media and online communication. Do you use social media?
Okay. Yes, I use social media.
How much time do you spend on social media?
Usually, I used to spend a lot of time on social media. When people would say that social media just separates people and disconnect them from life, I really didn't believe them. Like I saw that social media is a good way of communicating, especially when you a teacher from with teachers at our school when you used to send them like questions on Facebook or WhatsApp. How can I do this? How can I do that? They would reply immediately and very fast, and you could send them your tasks on email or. Email is not considered social media, but like, it's very easy to communicate with your teachers and with your classmates. What homework do we have? Were you able to solve this question? It's like it made the learning process much easier.
Okay.
However, like this starting this year, I realized that it consumes like their users are it's like becomes something addictive. You can't stop using it, and I realized that I became an addictive person to social media this year. So I decided to delete WhatsApp yesterday, and that was a great step that I did.
Okay. Good luck with that. What are some of the things done by other people on social media that annoy you?
Cyberbullying. I would find it everywhere. Like even if you check the Facebook group, and if a girl put her dress on a Facebook group and to ask others if it is pretty or not, you'd find others telling her, "You're fat. It doesn't suit you. Oh, you're ugly. What is that in your face?" Cyberbullying is like it is one of the most commonly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Can you say that again, please?
Cyberbullying. Okay, cyberbullying is the most thing that annoys me about social media. You find it everywhere, even on Facebook, on group chats between friends. And the problem about cyberbullying is that when you annoy someone in real life, you can see his facial expressions. So that when he can no longer handle it, you can stop yourself from continuing to annoy and harass him. But the problem is that social media, like it hides everyone. It doesn't show you what people are really feeling, so you're just continuing harassing and annoying them without fully being aware about how it affects them.
All right. Now, I'm going to give you a topic. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. At this stage, the examiner would usually
About
give
what?
you a cue card. I'll give you the topic now. Usually, the examiner
Okay.
gives you the topic on a cue card, and they give you a piece of paper and pencil. But here, you're going to have to use your own if you want to make notes. And I'm sending it over to you in the message now. So if you could please check the Skype
Okay.
message and let me know as soon as you see it.
Describe a situation when you said something and then soon regret it. You
You
should
have one
say
minute
what the
to
situation
think about
was,
what you're going to say.
who was involved, what you said, why you said it, why you regret it. Okay. Um.
You have 1 minute to think
Okay.
about what you're going to say if you want. You want to take 1 minute to think about it?
Okay. No, I can start now.
Okay, go ahead then. All right.
Do I
Yes.
start?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Words have power that people are not aware of the power of words. You would say something and then you're not aware of the impact that it could leave on others. That was the case that happened to me. I'm more of an angry person. If I got angry to a point, I just speak and I'm outraging and I say what I feel without being aware of what I'm saying and without filtering my words. That happened to me. The situation was 2 years ago at school. My friend she was my classmate, and then she was like annoying me, and then like she wasn't really annoying me. I was listening to music, and then she was like, "Close your music. I want to open music from mine." And then she was really annoying me and like saying she was pissing me off. And then I was really annoying and I got angry, so I just kept saying, just stop it. What you're doing is one of the reasons why most of our classmates, they don't like you. And then I start saying things that I wasn't fully aware of what I'm saying. I just found that she was just looking at me and then she can't believe what I'm saying. And then she just didn't say anything. She turned around and left. I After I got home, I really I remember like remembered what I said, and then I realized that what I told her, if that was told to me, no matter if I'm a bad person or not, no one deserves to be told these things. And that is the problem that is going with our society right now, that people are not aware of their words. With your words, you can like take someone from the stands of life and make a successful and a happy person out of him. And using all your words, you can destroy someone's life and his happiness forever. And that is the thing that most people, they don't realize. So after I came home, I realized that the words I said, they could cause her many problems with her life. That I'm telling her because of what you're saying, what your personality.
Thank you.
No one doesn't like you. What the best?
We've been.
Like I really regretted what I said. Then on the next day, I called her. On the next day, she didn't come to school. So after I came home, I called her and I told her that I really apologized and that I really didn't mean what I said. But words when said, they cannot be taken back. So I'm sure they really left a footprint, but I really,
Thank you.
till now, it's like it happened a couple of years ago, but till now, I really regretted what I told her, even though she doesn't remember it. Like, and she's the type of person, she remembers something, she would say it, but she really doesn't remember it right now, but
Thank you. That will
I
do.
still regret it till now that I said, okay.
Thanks. We have been talking about a situation when you regretted saying something. I'd like to discuss some more general question, somewhat related to this topic. How do you respond when someone treats you unfairly?
It happened once before. The problem is that when you feel that you're unfair, like where someone like what you there someone is doing injustice to you, like you feel so broken that you can't even process what's happening, and you can't even process what you should do. It happened to me, and that was with my parents. And the problem is that they are like they're very people who are close to you, and it's supposed like they really know you well, and that they're judging you, and they're saying you did that, and even though you did it, what I did was that I just like I went to my room, I closed the door, and I started crying, and like I'm saying, God, please, like, show them the truth, and that I didn't do it. I didn't have even the power to stand up for myself and tell them I didn't do it. I really don't know why, but I feel when someone is like is in, when you do injustice to someone, like I feel they're so weak that they can't even process the problem in their mind and to figure out a solution or to stand up for even themselves.
How can people of various different backgrounds and cultures coexist peacefully?
Okay, so I see that the different backgrounds and like it causes people to have different mindsets, but that is not the case. Like in order to people to live peacefully together, even though they have different cultures, they must really understand and respect each other. Even if they don't understand, if they respect you, I respect that the person in front of me, he has different beliefs or different ways of living. I would respect what he's doing. So okay, I wouldn't mind what he's. It's like there are people from different cultures who get married. They live together and they're completely different. They respect what the others are doing. I respect that you may have other beliefs, that you may have different. You believe in a different God or whatever. I respect that, so we'll be able to live peacefully together.
Okay.
If respect is not there.
All right, moving on to the next question. Globalization and technology have connected people from around the world. How does it impact your culture?
How did they what? How does it impact your culture? Okay. Okay. Globalization and technology from since like they're continually improving and like and changing our societies day by day, and I think that they changed my culture a little. That in the old days in the 60s and 70s when we didn't have technology here in Egypt, I think that we were one of the greatest countries. Like I would even look at pictures on Facebook till now. We would look on pictures on the 70s and like on nowadays, and then we would compare it together and say, how did this country become this in these 20 years? It was all about how technology like interfered. I don't know if it's the impact of technology or what, but even the technology, they made people exposed to. That was, I think that's on the good side, but on the contrary, I think that it exposed people to new ideas, to other people, especially that like if there are some who can't travel abroad and interact with others, so they exposed them to other mindsets and other people and to the world. So I think that it did good to them.
Thank you. That is the end of your speaking test.
Okay, thank you.
It was not smooth due to the audio problem. I don't know why. So I will send you a message on Facebook. I'll let you know how you performed. I'll give you detailed feedback along with the band score. Your exam is in 6 days, so all the best with that. I had a cool question for you. Okay. What was the language of Egypt before Arabic arrived in the 7th century?
The language in Egypt before the Arabic arrived?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it was always Arabic.
It couldn't have been always Arabic because the Arabs came to Egypt in the 7th century. Egypt was not Arabic.
I don't know. No, pharaohs were there before.
Yeah, pharaohs were there, but they were not Arabs. That's what I'm saying. They were not Arabic people. Islam and Arabic came to Egypt in the 7th century. So I was curious to know what was the language before that.
I don't know.
I think it was probably Coptic.
My wife and I have been together through thick and thin, from the days when we had to count pennies to the time we took 4 holidays in a year. We are a youngish couple,
at least in our minds,
who consider ourselves citizens of the world.
We love to travel, meet the friendly locals, experience their rich cultures, and taste their authentic cuisines.
We like to share it all with you, various anecdotes from our adventures,
and not so mundane tidbits from our daily life.
Please head over to our other channel by clicking on one of the videos on the screen or find the link in the description below.
So, join us on our journey.
See ya!